the thing that shocked me the most, that is still with me, he said that in 5 years' time, like he put a clock, and there was a clock in Tehran that was actually counting down the days. He put a clock to 5 years, saying that something terrible will happen to the Jewish people in Israel. That would forever change the face of the Jewish world. And I think that October 7th did that. But of course, there was no way of knowing. What I did know is that they were mapping the diaspora. If I'm honest with you, I don't think it was just the Jewish diaspora. I think that what they meant by diaspora was most likely the Judeo-Christian world. Because they want. Okay, so let me rephrase this. There's something that I want to share with you because I thought about it for a long time because and don't hate me for it, but I heard something on TikTok, okay? And then it just completely changed my perspective on the Crusades. Because for the longest time, I remember the Crusade, and you'll understand why it makes sense. I understood the Crusade as being, some kind of, I mean, I would say the first bout of colonialism, and it makes no sense because I was thinking, oh, why are they fighting each other? It's all about sectarianism. That wasn't the nicest, thing that the West did. And then I realized hang on a second. If you actually reread history, it wasn't. It was an act of self-defense. It was a pushback against Islamic, radical Islam invading Christendom back then, and the Vatican had no choice but to call on Christian kings to raise an army and to go fight. And of course, the fight took them to Jerusalem. And I've never thought about it that way, but that's what they were planning. Is basically, let's just say the Crusade 2.0, in that they want to push against the Judeo-Christian world. And as of before, the time of the Crusade, where Israel was not around in the way that it is today as a Jewish state, I think that I would say the way to Rome was just, like an easier motorway. Let's just use that term. As of now, there's a stop along the way, and they have to get rid of Israel before they can get to, to the Vatican or to Christianity in general. And I think that's what we're seeing today. What they're planning is actually the death of the Judeo-Christian world. They want to take over, and they want to attempt to redo what they did back then, which was to try to capture.
Yeah. Well, if they take Jerusalem, they destroy Israel, they know the West has fallen. And then it's not long before the West can be defeated. But also the reason they're doing that is because of their supersessionist Islamist ideology.